Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today's video I'm having afternoon tea at Bacchus, which is a restaurant within the Rydges Hotel in Brisbane on the South Bank. So I thought I'd come and check it out. I've not been to Brisbane for a while and I was keen to check this restaurant out in particular, and they've got a high tea which is 65 Aussie dollars. So keen to check out the menu. It does look really nice, and yeah, who doesn't love an afternoon tea? So I just arrived here and unfortunately it absolutely chucked it down on the way here. So I'm completely drenched. I had to scrape my hair back, so I look a little bit of a mess, but hopefully I'll dry off. But their staff are really accommodating as well. So that's been really helpful because everything's just sodden. So you can just actually see outside. I mean, it is actually summer in Brisbane, but you wouldn't actually tell from looking at the windows right now. It is absolutely chucking it down. So I actually just got caught in that on the way here. Oh, yep, brilliant.
You can still see the waves.
Oh, great. Okay, thanks. So I have gone with the cinnamon spiced tea. I think that's what it's called. Is it cinnamon? It is the hot cinnamon spice. So it smells lovely.
And welcome to Bacchus High Tea.
Thanks.
Yeah,
that would be great, thank you.
So, starting from the bottom, we have a scone selection. We have a classic and cranberry, raspberry jam and cream. In the middle are the savoury options. In the middle of the plate is a Reuben sandwich. It's a North American dish with corned beef, Swiss cheese and pickled red cabbage. That little black burger bun you see, the charcoal brioche bun seafood slider with miso mayo, prawn and cucumber. We have the truffle egg pillow, which has the truffle oil in the egg, so that truffle flavour will just spread out. And the sweet potato croquette, and the little pink basket there is a beetroot basket with buffalo curd, prosciutto and cured fig, so that's a bit more on the salty end for that one.
Oh, nice.
And on the top we have our dessert selection with a triple chocolate slice in the middle, macaron, a lemon meringue tart, and the little yellow mousse is a peach and Earl Grey mousse on a coconut sublay, so we get that very distinct Earl Grey flavour on that one. Very nice to go through. So, please enjoy.
Brilliant, that's great. Thank you. So the waiter has just gone through what these are. So these are just the scones, which are nice and warm, which is really nice. And then we've got the savoury items in the middle. They're all quite petite, which I don't mind actually. I don't want anything too stodgy. And then we've also got the sweets at the top. So yeah, very nice. And I'm not quite sure if it's bottomless. I know the teas and coffees are, but I will check to see whether you can get any of these items replenished. So we'll see, but let's get started with the savouries. So the first item, I think, the savoury items I'm going to have is this truffle egg pillow, which is creamy truffle egg sweet corn on white bread. And it's nicely chilled as well. And you can't really go wrong with a truffled egg. It's one of my favourite things to have in an afternoon tea. So that truffle egg pillow was actually really nice, and I liked the sweet corn within it. It gave it a nice little crisp edge to it, and it was so nice and chilled. So I did really like that. And then I think I'll go with this croquette. It is actually warm, so that's really nice. And it just says croquette sweet potato. So it feels quite dense. But let's give this a try. So yeah, so it's just a sweet potato croquette, but lovely and crispy. So the next savoury item I'm going to have is this savoury Reuben sandwich. And one of the reasons I liked the look of this sandwich was that it's got a cocoa malt bread, which I've never actually tried or even heard about before. So I was keen to check that out. And it says it's with pickled red cabbage and Swiss cheese. And this is the only actual sandwich within the savouries. All the other items are slightly different savoury options. So we'll see whether we like this cocoa malt bread. So I did find that Reuben sandwich was really nice and tasty. You could definitely tell the pickled red cabbage. But the cocoa malt bread kind of was quite crumbly. So I've just checked with the staff, who actually here, they've been so accommodating and really friendly. So that's an absolute plus. You don't always get that when you go for afternoon tea at places. But very much consistent, all the staff I've spoken to have been lovely. So one of the ladies actually explained that the afternoon tea that's the $65 is basically bottomless for the teas, coffees, hot chocolates and soft drinks. But actually the food, this is not bottomless. So what you get here is within the $65, but you don't get any top-ups of any of the food. So just bear that in mind when you do come. So for the next savoury item, I think I'm going to go with the beetroot basket, which has buffalo curd, prosciutto and a pickled fig. So again, really petite. But I love the idea of this beetroot basket, but it is quite small. And then you've got the little fig. I think it's really nice and colourful. And it's just a little bit different than just having the kind of regular sandwiches that you'd have in an afternoon tea. It's nice we've got one sandwich, but I do like the variety of savoury items that they have on the menu. Okay, I was doing really well with the savouries, but I've just had this beetroot basket, and in all honesty, I really didn't like it. The thing is the buffalo curd was not to my liking. It was, not for me. I think it was really quite kind of sour in a way. And yeah, so the buffalo curd, I'm sure other people will like it, but it's that kind of taste isn't really for me. And also the fig was okay, but I'd say it's one of my least favourite savouries that I've had for this afternoon tea. So hopefully the next one is a little bit better, but unfortunately the buffalo curd was not to my liking, but that is just more on personal preference as opposed to anything wrong with the actual dish. So let's have this seafood slider, and it's a charcoal bun with prawns, miso mayo and cucumber. And again, a nice little size, not too big. The charcoal bun is kind of a bit mushy, but it is the last savoury that I'm having, so that's probably why. So we'll give it a try. So we've just had the savoury items, and I think out of all of them, I prefer the truffle egg pillow, then the Reuben sandwich and the croquette, and then the seafood slider and the beetroot basket were probably my least favourite out of all of the savoury items. So I think we'll next have the scones. Now we've got the plain scone. Now this is quite petite, and they were warm when they came out. And then you've also got, I think it's the strawberry jam. And then because we're in Australia, they don't really do clotted cream here, so it would just be cream, which is a bit gutting, because if you guys know me on my channel, you know I love a good big dollop of clotted cream, but that is still a decent amount of cream. And then also they've got a cranberry scone, but they're quite petite but really crispy, so we'll see what they're like inside. And I think I'm going to try, maybe the cranberry scone first, so give that a try, and then let's see if we can open it up. Again, very crumbly and actually quite moist, I would say, with a really good crust on. Now, I am someone that loves cream, or, you know, clotted cream, putting on the scone first and then the jam. And let me know in the comments below if you guys are more jam first or clotted cream first. I like to put lashings of clotted cream on and then the jam on top. So in regards to the cranberry scone, I thought it was really tasty, really crispy, pretty moist as well, and just the right amount of cranberries. So definitely a good option. So with the sweet items, I'm going to start with this macaron, and it says it's a seasonal flavour, but I checked with the waiter and he says it's strawberry, and you often get macarons in a high tea and afternoon teas. What I'll do is I'll link a card in the corner and the description bar below of the afternoon tea playlist I've got so far. I think I've got maybe 30 or 40 afternoon teas in there if you wanted to check it out. So I've just had the strawberry macaron. I found it really flavoursome, and actually inside there was this kind of strawberry coulis kind of gel, and that gave the flavour a bit of an added kick, so I did really enjoy that one. Now I think next up we'll go with the key lime tart with lime curd and meringue on top. Again, it's really petite, so let's just cut this open. So the pastry is quite firm, and then as you cut inside you can clearly see the lime curd and then a lovely dollop of meringue on top. So it's looking good so far, but I did really like the macaron, so we'll see what we think of this one. So for the next sweet item is this Earl Grey and peach sablé with I think like a peach gel. So again, really petite. I'm not a huge fan of Earl Grey, so I'm not sure if I'd like this. Oh, it's quite soft. Really soft, actually. It has been out for a while, so that probably just something to bear in mind. And then you can kind of see inside, you've got a little bit of the peach gel. So let's give this a try. So the last dessert item is this chocolate trio, and it says chocolate sponge mousse and crispy. So we'll give this a try. But it's a nice little size and looks obviously very chocolatey. So I've just finished the Bacchus afternoon tea, which is in the Rydges Hotel, and I think for $65 it's pretty good. I would say my favourite savoury item was the truffle egg pillow with the sweet corn, and then also the Reuben sandwich, and then the sweet options that I liked. I think my favourite was probably the strawberry macaron. That was really nice, and also the scones I thought were really flavoursome and really tasty, and I really liked the jam as well. But I'm going to head off now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.